Turns out some of the smartest people on Earth are actually pretty fascinating.
Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
We wanted to take a second to remind you about a show that we have launched on this channel every Saturday, including tomorrow. We have a song biscuit. That is when we collaborate with another YouTuber to create an original song based on your suggestions. This week, our special guest is Markiplier.
I'm not working 5 nights at Freddy's. I'm quitting this job. Who wants minimum wage to get murdered by a robot mob?
Oh, you've been waiting for that one. Tomorrow morning and every Saturday. Today, we talk geniuses. Now, typically, that's within the context of sarcasm, like, hey genius, you just misspelled the word genius.
Yes.
Or, hey genius, you wore your underwear backwards and inside out. My wife actually told me that yesterday.
Whoa.
True story.
How does that happen, genius?
I put them on in the dark. But today we are talking about true geniuses and some fascinating ones at that. Interesting geniuses.
So you hear this all the time. IQ, what's your IQ? A lot of people don't know what their IQ is, but if you're an average person, your IQ, your intelligence quotient is probably between 90 and 109. Whereas if you're a genius, it's probably somewhere above 140. If you're like above 130, you're like a gifted person. To give a point of perspective here, 160, that's Stephen Hawking's IQ. Everybody on our list today is higher than Stephen Hawking.
Boop, 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 boop. So our research is bringing to you some fascinating, smart people with IQs higher than the Hawking man. First, I've got the Hawking man. I was trying to go with the Hawk man, kind of a play on words, but I'm no genius, so it didn't work out.
That's right.
Rick Rosner, born May 2nd, 1960. Richard G is his official name. His official IQ is 192.
That's high.
But the dude takes IQ tests all the time, sometimes spending hours or days taking these things. He's a master of them. But
That doesn't seem fair.
Well, if
Whatever
IQ
floats your
test,
boat, Rich.
he placed second in the 2013 Genius of the Year Awards, which I didn't know existed. But again, I'm no genius. Am I going to say that anymore in the episode?
Hopefully you said it all you're going to say.
I got it out of my system. All of his interviews make him out to be kind of a weirdo.
Went out for wrestling, put myself on this not very well-advised diet, lettuce and dog biscuits, because I was reading package labels and the biscuits seemed to have a lot of fiber and not a lot of fat.
He's not that much of a weirdo. He graduated from high school in 1978 and then spent the next 9 years of his life forging documents to stay in other high schools. He said he wanted to perfect his high school experience.
Go back and be king.
He also worked as a stripper, a roller skating waiter, a bouncer, and a nude model.
Okay.
And I don't know, he looks great against that green backdrop, I guess.
Well, he's got a green shirt on.
He was also on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
What is the term for music sung without instrumental accompaniment? Oratorio, a cappella, cantata, aria.
B, a cappella.
A cappella, the right answer for 1,000.
Did he win?
$1,000.
Okay.
And then he sued them because the inaccuracy of a question. Of course, he lost that.
Okay, but he's...
I didn't mean to end on a sad note, but that's all I got about
smart
Rick.
For his own good. How about James Woods? Yes, the actor. Nearly perfect SAT score, 1579. IQ level of 180. This guy went to UCLA in high school and then he got a full ride to MIT. But what did he do? Did he go be some academic guy? No, he ended up becoming an actor.
I have a theory, seriously, that the greatest actors are the most intelligent actors. Like, I think it takes a lot of intelligence to embody someone else effectively.
It's a certain type of intelligence. I wouldn't think it would be an IQ. Maybe, maybe it's an acting IQ. That's a different thing.
Maybe.
He's also known for being very good at poker, in which, you know, there's an intelligence thing happening there. He's finished over 20 events. That doesn't mean that you just finish them. It means you finish in the money. So this guy's like basically a professional poker player playing poker all the time. But with all these accomplishments and this incredible IQ, he was not smart enough to not appear in the Silver
Okay, here's what Rhett's trying to do here. He was trying to slam James Woods.
Man, James
and he
Woods, it was going to be so good.
Rhett, I love the fact that you built up this whole slam against James Woods to like talk about the crappiest movie he was in, and you totally blew it. What's the movie? Just go ahead and say it.
With all of these accomplishments
That's
and this
great.
incredibly high IQ, he's still not too smart to not appear.
You're still not getting it right.
The Specialist.
I taught you everything you know, and you dare to turn on me.
You're gonna kill me too, Colonel.
You're a specialist, kid. You deserve better.
You still got him, Rhett. with that one.
4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You still got him. buddy.
180.
Terence Terry Tao, born in 1975 in Australia, is the youngest tenured UCLA professor at the age of 24. I watched a lot of footage of him scribbling lots of math on a chalkboard, which is like the quintessential thing that geniuses do. His colleagues call him the Mozart of math. He has an IQ between 220 and 230. It fluctuates depending on what type of whiteboard he's against.
Okay, got it.
This guy is so smart, he said yes to being on the Colbert Report.
You've got one of them MacArthur Genius Fellowships, and you won the 2015 Breakthrough Prize in Mathematics.
Yes.
Though it is only 2014. Did I just check your math on that one?
Yes, I guess it's all about the future.
He's an expert in sexy prime numbers,
What?
which don't get your hopes up. That's just pairs of prime numbers 6 apart.
Why isn't it called 60 prime numbers?
Because no one would remember that. His parents noticed when he was 2 years old that he was teaching a group of 5-year-olds how to count and spell. And they asked him, how do you know how to do that? And he said, I learned it on a show called Sesame Street.
Yeah, all geniuses watch Sesame Street.
He went on to teach, he learned calculus at the age of 7, and then 1 year later, he was teaching calculus to high school students at the age of
7?
8. Yeah,
8.
at the age of 8, he was teaching high school calculus. So if you want to become the Mozart of math, just watch lots of Count Chocula, or whatever that guy's name is.
I don't think
Chocula.
I could respect an 8-year-old. I'm sorry. I don't care how smart you are.
Area under the curve, man.
Christopher Langan, this guy is interesting. IQ between 195 and 210. He has been described as the smartest man in the world by the media. He's an incredibly unlikely story because he went to Montana State University, not necessarily known for incredible geniuses,
No.
but he dropped out and then he went on for the next over 20 years of doing things like being a construction worker, a cowboy, a Forest Service ranger, a farmhand, and a bouncer on Long Island. And now he
was a bouncer just like Rick.
Smart people bounce, man. That's why I'm gonna be starting to do it. Sign me up. Now he's a rancher in Missouri. He runs a ranch. Now, but he's not just a rancher because he spends his free time developing, or it's kind of a double life. When he's not ranching, he's developing his cognitive theoretic model of the universe. Now you might think, okay, this is some crazy dude, but he has a theory of everything that he says explains the connection between mind and reality, therefore the presence of cognition and the universe in the same phrase.
I am closer to absolute truth than any man has been before me. Do I think that makes me better than everybody else? No. I still work in a bar.
But he's not some wacko.
Are you sure he's not just a guy on the back of a cow who has a copy of the movie Theory of Everything?
No. Real scientists have investigated everything this guy has written, and they say he's legit. Like, this
Really?
guy's onto something. He's
That's
not
cool,
just
man.
some crazy
And he's a
guy.
rancher,
He's a
bouncer.
rancher, and he was on a game show. He was on 1 versus 100, but he won, hosted by Bob Saget, by the way.
Of course. Genius in his own right.
He won $250,000,
Well,
which that's doing well on 1 versus 100. And he seemed
Unless-
really, really smart.
unless you're a genius and a rancher and a bouncer. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, we do.
Let me give you Paul Gardner Allen. Paul Allen, you know this guy. He co-founded Microsoft with Bill Gates. He has an IQ level of 170,
Meh.
but he's the 51st richest man on earth as well. So a lot of people with IQs, they might
Smart
just
rich.
be bouncers, but this guy's also a billionaire. $14.2 billion is his net worth. He owns a 414-foot yacht named Octopus. It costs $200 million to build.
That's nothing when you got 14
It's got
billion in the bank.
It's got a recording studio, 2 helipads, and 2 submarines on it.
Is it painted like an octopus? Does it have tentacles?
No,
For that price, it should have tentacles.
Well, the drag in the water would be.
I don't care.
He also has another 303-foot yacht named Tatoosh, which I take it to mean like a tattoo on a butt.
Ah.
I don't know why he called it that, but that's my best guess as to what
Little
tattoosh
secret
is.
into Paul Allen's life.
Perfect 1600 on his SAT, and he owns the Seahawks and the Trailblazers. So I think there's this, I'm just theorizing, the smartest people, respected for their brains, also want to do something physical like on an NFL team or be a bouncer.
Or have a big octopus that they ride through the water.
Right, so that they can like get physical respect instead of just mental respect. That's at least my theory.
I've got one guy I'm going to talk about in Good Mythical More, a guy named Grigory Perlman, who is incredibly fascinating, but we'll save that for Good Mythical More.
For now, thanks for liking and commenting on this video.
You know what time it is.
Hi, my name is Alexandra, and that's how winter looks in Cyprus. It's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Make sure you check out the latest episode of our podcast, Ear Biscuits. This week's special guest is Markiplier, and check out the song Biscuit that we did with Markiplier tomorrow on this channel.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for clicking through to Good Mythical More, where got a few more geniuses. Judging by this guy's eyebrows, I'd stick around.
Link has a wedgie that keeps getting tighter.
Hey man, can you pull on this up? Oh, okay, there we go.
How's
That's step 1. Step 2 of my process. Step 3. Hey, I'm gonna do the voice.
Well, he's Russian, so you gotta do a Russian accent.
Dankeschön. Is that German?
Yeah. You should probably stop now.